A very significant development here, seeing this law enforcement action taking place. I'll point out, just to be clear at the outset, we don't know that Sean Diddy Combs himself is the subject or target of a federal investigation. So it's just worth pointing that out at this hour. But what we do know is that two properties associated with him, we saw the feds descend on those properties. We saw on aerial footage federal agents both here in the Los Angeles area as well as in Miami at those residences. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, their what's called HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, gave CNN a statement. I'll read you part of that when asked about what this activity is. They say that earlier today, HSI New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. That is it, confirming that they are conducting what they're deeming law enforcement action, which could indicate search warrants being conducted there, could indicate arrests being conducted. We just don't know at this hour specifically what that law enforcement action is.
We don't yet know what the particular charges are. They'll be unsealed later and made public. But his own lawyers think they're going to have to do with federal racketeering charges and sex trafficking potentially.
Yeah, and if a grand jury has indicted, that means they think that they have probable cause that a crime has been committed. The standard for that is lower than if you were going to go to trial, but it does mean a significant step has happened here. They've gathered enough evidence. We've seen this been going on for months now. We knew that witnesses were going in front of the grand jury. Obviously, we'll have to wait to see that it's unsealed when that happens later in court. But if it's sex trafficking, remember the last big sex trafficking case we saw here, R. Kelly, he got 30 years in prison. Not saying that Diddy is going to get the same, but this is a significant step.
What are the next steps then? Arraignment, he comes to federal court?
He will come in, he will be brought in. The real trick, and listen to, is whether he gets bail and whether federal prosecutors think that he's a flight risk.
Okay.
Diddy has been taken into federal custody in New York. According to TMZ, he was taken by Homeland Security from a Midtown hotel which he was staying at in New York. The arrest is linked to an ongoing investigation involving alleged sex trafficking and other offenses. He was arrested after being indicted by a grand jury, so I'm assuming that there will be a huge public trial that follows.